These deadly women live by their own rules, killing without motive, for the sake of twisted thrills.
With us through the break. I'm going to be speaking with famed FBI profiler. She's an author and investigator on Discovery. She's a host on Discovery, Candice DeLong. Candice, welcome to the Valder Beebe Show.
Thank you, Valder.
I know you want to talk with me about some current headlining cases that are in the media, but tell me about Deadly Women.
Deadly Women is a documentary show on women who kill, and we're going into our 5th season starting Friday night, tomorrow night. Yeah, tomorrow night.
Women that kill. What do you mean by that?
Well, it's called Deadly Women, and it's only about women who kill, which is kind of unusual in our society, or at least we think it is. I think after somebody watches Deadly Women more than once, they'll realize perhaps it isn't so rare. But in every show, we do 3 stories, and they're all themed. For example, one episode might be women who kill their children, or another episode might be women who get their children to kill for them, or perhaps a story of 3 black widows, but all with different motivations. So that's pretty much what it's about.
Let me ask you this. You said this kind of is almost a minority of what's happening in the prison system, I'm thinking is what you're saying. But isn't the percentage of women who are being incarcerated and doing violent crimes and killing, isn't that rising according to what I read?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Why? Do you know?
I don't know. It's been rising actually for at least 20 years now. And it's also, we're seeing a rise among violent crimes of younger women, teenage girls, actually. And we do feature a lot of those stories on Deadly Women. In fact, it's been my experience in the last 30 years that some of the most violent crimes that I've seen have been committed by younger offenders.
Talking about women in the media, tying it to your show, what about, can you speak on Casey Anthony, where we are now with that case?
Well, the criminal case is over. She can never be charged again. Anything to do with the charge of murdering her daughter. And now she's facing, it's my understanding, several civil suits. So I don't think we've heard the last of Casey Anthony.
Is this kind of where things can go awry in the civil suits? If we remember O.J. Simpson,
yes,
he didn't get off on a criminal case, but it was that civil suit that seemed to be the straw that broke the camel's back.
Right, and that was a civil suit basically called a wrongful death suit. I don't know that Casey Anthony has been hit with a wrongful death civil suit yet. I think most of the other ones are financial. For example, organizations, agencies, nonprofits that helped look for her missing child are saying, hey, you knew this child was dead all along, and yet you let us spend $200,000 of nonprofit money searching for her. We want the money back. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
What are the cases that are in the news that should be on our radar?
I believe I saw a story last night on TV. A 5-year-old girl is missing. I forget where from, but it seems, sadly, there's always something in the news distressing like this.
It is. It really, really is. Tell me about your show. What is the focus of your show on Discovery?
The focus of the show is I find the show to be very educational. My role is we'll present 3 stories in an hour, and my role, because I was an FBI profiler and I have a clinical background, I was a psychiatric nurse when the FBI recruited me. I had been head nurse at the Institute of Psychiatry in Chicago. My role in the show is to explain the motivation of the offender, psychology of what was going on, things like that. My background.
Let me ask you, being this person doing this kind of work with this kind of education, and this is a different kind of question, is your soul stronger than the rest of us? And
I get that question a lot.
Yeah, what I mean by this, I can't even watch the SPCA commercials on TV without feeling guilty that I'm not doing enough. I need to do better, and I'm serious. So the average person is our souls are very, very impacted by this kind of stuff. How do you do that?
Well, in being a psychiatric nurse for 10 years was psychiatric nurses and people that work in the field of mental health see a lot. And you see people at their worst. You see families at their worst. Periodically dealing with violence, violent outbursts of patients, helping people that are suffering from terrible afflictions, various mental illnesses, get better, and then frequently see them essentially go through a revolving door of mental health care, in and out, in and out. And in those 10 years, I learned a lot, and parts of it, yes, of course, times very, very disheartening, but also very rewarding. And then being recruited by the FBI and working in an entirely different aspect of people in trouble, sometimes working with offenders, dealing with offenders, and sometimes working with families of a missing child or a murdered child or a missing family member that might be found murdered or something like that. And I found myself becoming, in some ways, more affected emotionally, but stronger.
Can I ask you one more final question?
Of course.
Is this your calling?
I would say after 40 years of doing it, both being a nurse and in law enforcement, yes, it was a calling.
I'm fascinated by people like you, Candice. I'm fascinated because of your strength, your ability to do something like this and to still be standing. So I salute you for your work that you do. I really do. I'd like to say I'm glad it's you. It's not me.
Yeah.
But I admire what you do.
Thank you.
Everything in society has a positive place, and I know this has a place. Tell me when we can watch you.
Friday nights, and July 29th is the premiere, and it will be on the Investigation Discovery Network.
Thank you so much, Candice DeLong. I'm very honored to have had the opportunity to see a little bit into your world, and we will be watching you.
Thank you, Belder.
Thank you.